Hello, I'm Diane. Welcome to my channel, Diane in Stitches, where I hope you'll find some inspiration, ideas, and that you'll enjoy seeing what I've made and hearing about what I'm going to make. Today I'm wearing the old favourite Harper cardigan because it is still a little bit cool outside and in the house at times. Just a ready-to-wear t-shirt underneath. So today I've not really got a lot to report. I didn't feel like doing Friday sews last night. I've not been feeling 100% this last week or so, but I have managed to get my Easy Does It skirt from Pattern Emporium. I've got the pattern traced out. So I need to just iron the fabric and then get the actual garment cut out. But I've also decided I might try and get another entry into the Sew Frugal challenge. And I've decided to do the Love Notions classic tee. I thought I'd try the V-neck. I'm going to do probably the elbow sleeves, but I've not done a t-shirt V-neck before, so I thought I'd give myself a little bit of a challenge and try doing a V-neck. This is a free pattern. It's changed, I think, a few months ago. Their free pattern used to be, it's called the Laundry Day tee, and I did make one many moons ago, and it just did not fit right at all. It was tight. Whether it was the fabric I used, I'm not sure, but since I've just eliminated that pattern, I haven't tried it again. But they changed recently, and they now got the classic tee as the free pattern. And to get it, you go on their Facebook page, and there's a code in one of the pinned posts, and you just put the code in at checkout, and you will get it for free. So I've not made it up yet. I've only had that. Probably, I think they did it just before Christmas or after Christmas. I can't remember now. It's not long ago anyway. And I've got one of my fabrics out of my stash, just a cotton jersey in this teal colour, which I think was from Pound Fabrics. I think so anyway. Usually is. So that's probably not, if I can get that done before the deadline on the 31st of March, which is again the Sew Frugal challenge, to remind you, is you have to have a free pattern and you have to use some fabric from your stash, and then you put it on Instagram on the 31st of March. Loads and loads of prizes available from various companies. So I thought I'd have another go. I did finish the Hansi top, first garment that I made. I've now finished it. I'm not sure I can show it just yet. I don't know whether I can show it here, but not on Instagram just yet. But I'll just leave it. I will just wait till the end of March to reveal that to everybody, YouTube and Instagram. But it's turned out very nice, actually. It's been a nice easy sew. And I did also finally finish the Donny shirt. I'll put some pictures and a video up of me wearing it, but it finally finished. Now, I mentioned last time that Claire, of her channel is Clara Bobbins, very kindly offered to send me some of her bias binding that she'd made up this pattern, but in a different fabric. It was a viscose chalice, or however you say it. I've always called it chalice. Anyway, she sent it, and it's got lost. Good old Every has managed to lose it somewhere. So I thought, what can I do? And I thought, I didn't want to turn the full 2 centimeters up because that would have made it quite short. So I just got into my sewing box again and looked at all the bias bindings I'd got, and I'd actually got this, and it's a very wide one and very, very flimsy, and I've had it years, and I really don't know what I originally bought it for. and it's just all the edges were a little bit. It's been in the sewing box for years, but it's very thin and see through, but it's very fluid. It's not rigid like other bias bindings. And I didn't actually, when I first saw it, I thought that's not going to be very good, and they didn't look like there was going to be enough of it. But I just pulled it out because I was about to go into town and have a look for something, and I just pulled it out and had a look. Because I thought a deeper hem would be nicer than a narrow hem, and it's less likely to, flip out. And lo and behold, it went round. Well, it went round, and that's how much was left. So it went round the whole circumference of the hem. So I've probably taken less than a centimetre off the actual length of the fabric, and just turned it under and then top stitched it. So the stitching is about that deep, and it hangs nicely. I did a lovely join on the, if you can see it there, diagonal join on the bias. So that's done and dusted, and that can go in the cupboard now, and hopefully it'll go with the skirt. The other thing I was going to make was using this faux suede, and when I got it out, spread it out to sort of think about how to use it. I actually think it's going to be too rigid. It's a very, I don't think that's going to make a jacket. I think that's going to be more suited for bags, actually. But also what I noticed when I got it out, and I think this is my fault, because when I bought it from this shop near Chesterfield, it was on a roll. But what I found when I opened it out was all these little marks, and it's actually, the backing has sort of been damaged in some way. So it's possibly because I folded it up and it's been against something, and it's rubbed off. So I don't know. Don't know what's happened. But I think it's definitely, I think when I looked at it, I thought there's no way that's going to make a jacket. It's just like too thick, I think. If anybody's got any, I mean, it says faux suede on the pattern fabric suggestions, but I think there's softer faux suedes than this. It really, I think it's really too thick and rigid. But anyway, so what I've done today, because I haven't got much else really in the pipeline, is I've done a little sewing room tour. Filmed that earlier. In fact, I didn't know whether I was going to do any today or not, because I didn't sleep very well last night. I've got various things going on lately, and I was woken up in such a state. But I thought I'll just get on with it, Diane. So I did a little bit of a tour round the sewing room, just to give you an idea of what's where. And so I'll slip that in now, and then I'll pop back a bit later. So I thought I would do this little sewing room tour, as I haven't got much other content this week. Just do a quick flick round the room and show you how I work and what equipment I've got. So as we come into the room, the wire across the floor is because we've only got one plug in the whole room, and that is in that corner around there. So that's got to come through there, go through this cupboard, and go to the other side of the room, which we'll get to in a little while, to power my laptop and the light and the phone and etc. So as we come in, I'll just shut the door behind me. Got the shoes all on a rack back of the door. So down in this corner, this box here was the remnants box, and then on the top of that I've just got some fabrics that are a little bit too bulky to go in the proper boxes in the Kallax unit. So they're just some things I bought last year. Some wool, and that's the faux suede. A couple of bits of fabric from the charity shop, and then there's my expensive green wool down there. Shaking a bit this morning. These are some boxes of things. This box has my new, well, not so new, but I've had it a few little while, the Prim Vario tool for attaching snaps and eyelets and things. Boxes at the bottom there, they're all Overlocker threads. I bought, some of them are ones I bought when I got my first Overlocker from Lidl, and some of them I picked up from a Facebook marketplace a few years ago now. Never used them up, they've just lasting forever. So I've got, I think that's the staple gun, and I've got a hot glue gun under there. And then these are various boxes with odds and sods in. I think that black box there is a magnifying glass, magnifying stand. And as we swing round, this is the Kallax unit. These boxes, bins, have got my fabrics in, so they're all the winterish fabrics, sort of fleeces and some larger quantities of French terry for, I was going to make some long sleeve t-shirts, and I've never got around to it. And the bottom one is mainly summer fabrics, so cottons, and then French terries for short sleeve t-shirts. And that's a duvet cover that I had from IKEA that I thought I might make something from. A dress, possibly, or a couple of things. Very heavy. And then we go around to this side. These are sheets for muslins. This is a bit of a mishmash of the interfacings, some fat quarters when I bought making masks, some various other cottons. These were just mostly, I think that was a lining for a Roman blind that I made years ago. Another sort of like furnishing and craft fabrics, really. There's nothing dressmaking in there. And I've got two boxes here with various bits and bobs. I keep thinking I might get one cabinet or something to keep everything in, but I seem to have boxes all over the place. And then there's my patterns. So I've sort of got them in an order. Tops and dresses and jackets, cardigans, trousers and skirts. And then up there, even more, up there is miscellaneous. All this lot here are sort of rejects, patterns that I've dismissed, or errors. I did used to send my patterns to CLC print, and I had a bit of an issue with them last year, and they weren't answering my calls or emails and whatnot, because they've done a lot of errors when they've done printing, and when you tell them about it, they don't just send you the error. They reprint the whole pattern again, so you've got multiple the same pattern. You know, the A0, you've got multiple copies of the same thing, because they don't, if you say, oh, you've missed page 3, they'll just print the whole pattern again and send you page 1, 2 and 3 again. So that's all. I mean, I really need to get rid of those, I suppose. And then up here, these are the envelope patterns. Bits of rubbish on top. The good old wardrobe with the coats in, which still hasn't been sorted yet. I'll get this thing out of the way, which I think you're fed up of seeing, aren't you? So this is a bit of a multiple messy corner. There's a bag down there that we put things in for charity shop, and then these are all my fabric scraps. And then I've got yet another sewing box here, which I got off Facebook Marketplace just general bits and bobs in. I had my cottons in there, threads, but they were a bit of a mess, and so I bought another little container for the threads, which you'll see in a bit. That's my cover stitch machine. This is the box that this is the African fabric that I've got plenty left of. So this is the box where my Swedish tracing paper is stored. I think I need to order some more. And good old Overlocker back, but I'm still a bit doubtful about it. But it has worked, but it didn't sound the same. It's a bit strange. Sewing machine, and down here, oh, if I can get back up again, it's been. So I've got my smaller iron down there, foot pedal for the cover stitch, pressing hams. These are patterns that I had some paper from Amazon, tracing paper from Amazon, and it's like a greaseproof paper, and it was really hard to use. It kept curling up. I couldn't fold it up. If I folded it up, I couldn't straighten it out again. So there were just a few patterns that I actually, and the only way I could store this stuff was in these tubes. But I wasn't happy with the paper anyway, so they might be gone one sometime. And then I've got my new box for the cottons, reels, some boots that I don't know where to put them. This corner is miscellaneous, my sewing machine and Overlocker bags there. Some of Keith's trousers on there that is a little bit tight round the waist, and he was going to throw them away, and I said, well, let me have a go at see if I can expand the waistband. I found a very good YouTube video on how to increase the waistband, so I will try that one day, possibly. And just some other files and folders down there. This is all to do with my sister's financial affairs. I'm power of attorney for my sister. These were just some fleeces that I had left over from making sweatshirts and jogging pants things. I don't know if there's enough to make anything with on those, but they're still there. And that's the view-ish out to the garden. Keith's out there somewhere gardening. So then we've got a little trolley on wheels with my laptop on. Spare, well, it's a Chromebook actually, I'm not keen on it, so I got the new laptop last year. Chair, which goes there or to the sewing machines, and then more storage, Kallaxes, and the big table where I cut out, and see, I've traced the pattern for the skirt, for the linen mix thing there. On the top is the interfacing. I've got another pattern out because I'm going to probably do a t-shirt. Another entry for the Sew Frugal challenge with a free pattern. That's my board where I jot things down. Just a note there to say what needles I've got in my Overlocker and sewing machine. And a very useful measurement chart that I downloaded from Love Notions. Note paper. That's the box where I keep all my pattern weights. I've got some out at the moment. Lovely plaque. There's a friend who lived in Cyprus near to us. She was a card maker, and she made that just before she moved back to the UK, and she was giving stuff away. I quite like that. And then pens, measuring tools, pins, various bits and bobs. They're not normally out on the table, but and this embroidery was done by my mother many years ago, and my sister had it in her house when she moved into the nursing home, and I had a house cleared out. The men clearing it found he'd got it on the top of the landing, and it was in an horrible frame. I've had it reframed since then. And my sister must have picked it up when, well, my mum died first and then my dad died. And we lived down in Norfolk at the time, and I didn't know what she was doing. I came up occasionally, and she must have taken this off the wall and taken it home and just stuffed it behind a chest of drawers, and there it sat for 30 years. So this clearance man found it and said, "Are you wanting this?" And I said, "Yes, I am." Let me just squeeze round. Can't you see now? But it's beautifully done, embroidered. The only thing was the way she mounted it, and there's a mark there, it's a nail. She just tacked this nail onto this most horrendous piece of hardboard, and all the nails have gone rusty and showing through the Ada cloth, and the framers couldn't do anything with it really. It was just they weren't conservation. Anyway, they were specialists in embroidery and cross stitch framing, but they couldn't do anything about restoring the mess that was inside, so they just basically reframed it. Yeah, I quite like that. I can remember her doing it actually, and I had no idea where it had disappeared to. So it was being just sitting behind a cupboard for, as I say, 30 odd years. So yeah, that's sort of where I work. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour. Now, as I mentioned, my overlocker had to go back to the serviceman, and because somehow the needle threader had stopped working. And when I rang him up about this, I had noticed when I picked it up the first time that when I mentioned needle threader, his face sort of went down and looked at the machine, and I never thought anything about it until I got it home and realised that the needle threader isn't working. And when I phoned him up about that, and he said something along the lines of that not many machines, overlockers, have needle threaders. And I thought he probably didn't even realise it had one. So when he rang to say it was ready the second time, I said to him, "Had you not realised there was a needle threader?" He went, "Oh yes, I knew it was a needle threader. I should have had a look at it." And I thought, well, yeah, he went for a service. I don't think he knew or realised it was a needle threader. Anyway, he fiddled about, and he's had to do some. He could have ordered a new part, he said, but he thought he'd just try and. I suppose I'm guessing he might have just botched it. I've no idea. But I was trying to do overlock the edge of the Hansi shirt, which was the very slippy viscose, and it didn't sound right. But that could have been just because I was doing one layer and it was viscose. But the dial at the front that moves the knife in and out, it was quite okay on 5, which is the default setting, and I noticed it's on 6 now. And I think he's adjusted that screw and the where the knife ends up incorrect. I don't. It just seems that why isn't it? When I do it on 5 now, I've got loops on the edge, whereas I didn't before. So I don't know. I'm not entirely happy, but I'll see how it goes doing the two. Sewing together the thicker fabric. We'll see. But anyway. So I think that's all I've got to get again today. I'll just give another shout out, I think, to a few more channels that I watch. And obviously one of the ones that I've been watching for a while, as I've mentioned before, is Karina, who does Lifting Pins and Needles channel. And a very informative channel and instructive, and lovely lady. And it's very what she does is very helpful, and she's an ambassador for a lot of patterns. She's got a lot of affiliate links as well, and I try to order a pattern through her affiliate links. But she just does some lovely garments, styles them brilliantly. I can't do styling. I don't know. I just wear what I'm comfortable in, and I don't style things. I should really get my head round that. But anyway, but she's lovely. And then the other channel that I watch is Carol, who is So Carol, and another lovely channel to watch. Very instructive, very humorous, and she started doing a challenge fabric wheel of fate to just bring out those fabrics that has been in your stash for some time that you start to wonder, why on earth did I buy that? What can I make with it? And it's really, really interesting. And she's ended up with lovely garments in the end, and wondering whatever she left the fabric there for. And I'll also give a mention to Alison, whose channel is So Like Dotty. And again, they're just channels that I keep going back to and watching and subscribe to. And Alison also runs the Sew virtual events on Zoom, where several sewists get together and have a chat between yourselves, or sew complete garments or whatever. And or you can just sit there and chat and listen to what's going on. And she's also a baby lock ambassador, and giving advice on how to use certain elements of the baby locks, overlockers or cover stitch, which probably would be useful for other makes as well, such as gathering and whatnot. And then I will also just give lastly a mention to Michelle, who is Sewing Bunny. And again, just a nice channel to watch, and she just goes through her makes and plans, and they're just easy channels to watch and listen to. And bonus with Michelle is she's got two lovely cats, Bentley and Misty, who invariably get in on the act and just give mischief really at times. And so they're sort of the ones that I do watch, obviously when I can. So again, I think that's all that I need to say this week. I'd just like to again thank people for liking and commenting, and again for all the subscribers. I'm getting quite a number of subscribers now. I think I'm 230 something last count. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything, and it just helps the channel. And then you'll hit the bell notifications, and you'll get notice of when I've brought out a new video. So I think that's all for having said it wasn't going to be a long one. It's probably ended up being fairly longer than I expected. I think after last night's sleepless night, I think I need to lie down. I just feel absolutely a bit rubbish at the moment. So I've got through it anyway. So have a good weekend and a good week, and hope you get lots of sewing done, and I'll see you all in the next video. So bye for now.